Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a
game
together.
Yay.
Alright, so this is the last one we're going to be doing before we see the results of the poll we put out.
Yes, so we're going to have to deal with this for now. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, for those of you who've been coming to either our inbox or our comments concerned that we are like dragging ourselves through this game, that is not the case.
No,
we just feel like we're adding a huge amount of content to this game, and it's more of a display of lies and scandal our shitlords than it is enjoy this game.
And it's also just a display of the fact that we really can talk our butts off, one, and number two, we can also world build out the rear end as well. It's not just we're shitlords, but it's just literally that we have a lot of fun creating characters. So.
Which doesn't really highlight this game super well, and it's more like we're just kind of wondering if people are interested in a game with more substance on its own, or a game that we just add a ton of shit to because it's just not very much there.
Yeah,
anyway, we have been very appreciative of everyone who has contributed, everyone who has weighed in, and if you're watching this sometime in the future, feel free to ask about this intro because there it is, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and Burns' dad told me I could join you, that I could go along with you, that, you know, you wouldn't be fine, I'd be fine, I wouldn't be a third wheel or anything because, you know, you're not even together at all, you just go to a movie, so I just think I could go. Right, Burn? Didn't your dad say I could go? And Darnold, he told me that I could go. They said it right in front of you. He said, you know, we'd have pizza and dinner, he'd have his meat time, and we'd do a movie together. He said, all of us go.
I don't feel like dealing with all of this drama tonight. I really didn't want to. It's why I tried to avoid everything. I keep trying to avoid everything. You know what keeps happening in my life? All this drama just keeps happening in my life, and I don't like it. I keep trying to make sure bad things don't happen, and that people don't get upset, and then everyone is okay, and then what are you looking at?
It's almost like in this game where we're a girl interacting with guys instead of the other way around, that stuff just keeps happening to us all the time, and we just have to choose how to react to it, and we don't get any agency to go out and choose what to do.
It's almost like we are reactive rather than being
proactive. So that is the primary difference between this series and my nurse girlfriend right now, which is the first dating game we've played that's directed towards boys/men. And if you hadn't seen that series and you've enjoyed our stylings in this series, you may enjoy it.
Yes, you might have fun with it, actually. I don't feel like dealing with drama tonight. Burn? Yes? Do you want Joey to tag along? Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm just so overwhelmed. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, this definitely seems like a character that's definitely been put into a corner to me, that this is like, oh god, I just want this to stop kind of thing.
I'm reading that really hard. And again, if I'm looking at it from I'm just clicking through this really quickly kind of thing, it could seem like the character's done a strong about face. Of just, yeah, sure, why not? But that's really not what I feel is going on here. Narratively, I feel like it's Bird going, I don't want drama, and she's just said, why is there, I just don't want drama, you know, even canonically. And so she's going, fighting this is going to be way more dramatic and uncomfortable than just going along with it.
Yes.
Even if I don't like it and it's not what I wanted, it's going to be so much more work and long-term heartache if I don't just go along with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which sounds like a lot of girls I've known in reference to a lot of things in their life, especially to do with men.
God, I've seen that with a lot of people where they're just like, yep, you know, you just kind of deal, and that's just what happens, whether it's, you know, anything about intimacy or dealing with partner relations or just dealing even with your boss or a part of your job. Sometimes you just go, yep, I just gotta deal with it. Even though, like sometimes for me, where I will watch people go, you really can say something. They go, yep, nope, it's fine. And you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna listen to you then for the next 3 hours bitch off about how much you hate this and how much you can't do anything about it. And it's like they literally gave you an option to say or do something else.
And you're like,
well, I don't have an option. I don't have a choice. And
but I'm not allowed to do that other thing because socially it would be not the favorable thing, or they assume how the person's going to react if they do, or the one of, well, yeah, but I've told them not to 4 times. They're just never gonna learn.
Which is fair. Honestly, I feel like 4 times shouldn't, like for me, should be more than enough.
And so then they're like, now I just let them do it and never reinforce the boundary because, you know, I've already told them 4 times.
Right? Which we've actually already now seen where people have, like, even in regards to Lily and My Lily's Garden, trying to establish boundaries over and over and over again and watching men basically invade in the space over and over and over again and going, God, this is really annoying, actually.
I feel you. I also love My Lily's Garden.
My Lily's Garden. God, I have not been playing My Mystic Dragon so much at all. I'm still just
My Lily's Garden Okay, so who wants Lily to be the chosen one and go marry one of the dragon princes?
This woman who's really just kind of tired of the shit in her life and really hasn't had anything, and then abruptly gets this information when she's even older than the original Dragon Slayer princess, going, I'm in my 30s, and then suddenly, poof! Birthmark! I have a birthmark! What does this even mean? And her just trying to deal with a garden while having all these hot dragon boys wandering around in her garden. She's dealing with a patron god at the same time that doesn't necessarily like these dragons because, it's from Earth. Right. And it has some opinions because, of course, it would. So it would be really interesting. It would be a little bizarre, but I think it'd be fun.
I think it could work. I think crossover of My Mystic Dragons and Lily's Garden could work.
My Mystic Garden.
My Mystic Garden! Yes! Okay, I'm for My Mystic Garden. All right, here we go.
Yes, all right.
And you know what? If you're gonna throw dating in there, instead of it being a linear story, put a visual novel that has choices in it with a match 3 and has possible endings in it.
That would be so
cool.
Be
so adorable.
That sounds exactly though like playing Honey Pop.
Is it actually a story, or is it just unlocking?
No. There's a
intimacy?
story. No, there's a story. You actually have routes you run through with all the various different
Then we
women.
clearly need one directed towards, not men.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Fascinating. Yeah, sure. Why not? Goody two shoes. Well, of course, if you don't mind to.
Do you know how to solve this without drama? Because I don't.
Please tell me you have the answer. I really just want someone else to have the. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
His hand on the small of Joey's back. I'm totally cool
I'm
with it.
fine with this.
I'll sit in the
This is
middle.
okay.
It's fine.
I'm good in. I have 2 hands.
I have 2 hands.
Ben, I have 2 hands.
Nice, sounds good. Yeah, we can all do it. I think we should go along together. Honestly, I think we'll get along fine. Honestly, just 3 people sort of getting to know each other. Bert and I, we're childhood friends and we'll be just fine. But we'll get to know each other, you and me, Ben, and we'll be fine. And then, Bern can just make a choice whenever she feels like making her choice because, she and I had that connection when we were kids and stuff.
But yeah,
and
don't make that choice before you.
Yeah, and I know she knows you now, but she's not saying anything about you. And we're not gonna choose right now.
Yeah, not right now. Don't choose right now.
Yeah,
Think
Bern,
about it for a while.
no, you're not gonna choose right now. We're all go as friends. Bern, no, I'm really sure it's fine. Aw, I miss this town. Man, I don't know anything about this town. God, is that same old theater there? Dang, well, I'd love to go to that theater, man. It's just, it was the one down on Broadway. If that's the one we're going to, God, I haven't been to that theater forever. I heard it was remodeled, but I haven't seen anything. It's only been 3 years, but it feels like it's been more like 40 years. God, we were childhood friends way back then, 3 years ago. It was so long ago.
Right. I go upstairs to say goodbye to Daddy, who has just finished his me time, thank God.
Daddy!
Daddy!
Oh, yes, my darling.
Daddy, we're going to go to the movies, all 3 of us. Are you okay?
Oh, so we're not going to have pizza before you go to the movie?
Yeah, I figured it would be best to just get the movie over with.
Poor bird. Just get it out of the way.
Just please. While everybody tries to invade on my space and tell me exactly what we're going to do is go to the movie, because if we had agreed on pizza, they've clearly changed the schedule and gone, we all heard this thing, but you know what we're going to do now is we're not going to do food first. We're going to go to the movies first. Burn going, we're just gonna go to the movie first. It's fine.
And we can just have dinner when we come back, okay, Daddy?
Okay. I hope the pizza's not coming.
Yet. No, I was in the bath doing me time.
Oh.
And so I didn't order because I wasn't sure how deep I wanted to get into it with myself. Right now I'm just going to do a nice foot scrub and, put some, oil on my feet and put on, or some lotion perhaps, and put on my little, cloth slippers. I'll just be patting about the house when you get back, darling.
Oh, it sounds great. I guess you could have more me time because I think I know which movie we're gonna go to.
No, this isn't me time. This is just good care, good self-care.
Oh, right. All right, well, goodbye, Daddy. Did I just jinx my peaceful life? Mark is acting overly protective of me, and when I start to realize how I feel about Ben,
No! Joey is back in the picture.
But why do I feel slightly happy to have Joey around again?
Wait. What
will happen to me? Find out in the next chapter of Freshman Fantasies! Fantasies!
Oh my God, this is so cheesy.
Oh God, this is so ridiculous. Continue on.
Wild. Alright, well, we're just gonna let that load in for a second. Oh my God, and now it's another time skip?
What?
We didn't get to go to the movie, we didn't get to have pizza, we don't even know how much time's passed because since Joey came, since when?
2 days later, since Joey came back into my life, 2.5 days later.
Everything has changed! We do everything together. It's now almost like I'm not dating him and not dating Ben at the same time. As all three of us do everything together.
Oh, no pressure or anything. And also, I didn't have to choose yet, and they still are waiting me to choose, but not before I choose.
But I'm not going to choose because I can't ever get any time alone with either of them.
Oh,
Though it seems like they keep trying to, but the other one keeps always showing up as soon as it almost might happen. Alright, anyway.
Oh, God. Since Joey came back into my life, everything changed. Well, not precisely everything, but many things.
I now have a roommate that lives with me and can see me whenever he wants and invade my space at any time because he's always here.
And he always keeps locking me into a corner, and then he looks at me, and then he laughs at me and finds my discomfort really funny.
And I don't
like it. And
my
it's
dad
kind
says,
of like Ben 2.0, actually.
Boys will be boys, and just means he has a crush on you. I knew he liked you.
Daddy.
Hmm?
Never mind.
Oh, Pumpkin, if you need anything, you just let me know.
Sure, Daddy. I'll let you know.
You don't need a new toothbrush, do you? You're sad because your toothbrush is wearing out, aren't you?
No, Daddy, I have another, clean one, and one I haven't used yet inside my cabinet. It's fine.
You sure? You don't need more heads for your fancy electric toothbrush?
It's fine.
Alright. Well, if that's not making you sad, maybe it's because you're out of ice cream.
Maybe it's because you don't have a vibrator, my dear.
You're not supposed to use your toothbrush like that.
Burn. No, Daddy, really.
It's fine. I am fine.
I understand you're really open about your me time sometimes, but other times I'm just like, Daddy, I just don't care. Please.
I don't want to know.
Can we not? Daddy, normally I would have had the house to myself whenever Daddy is busy at his art studio. But now, Joey is always around.
Hovering, lurking,
breathing
stalking,
on me.
Following, just breathing over my shoulder.
Like how it was when we were younger, actually.
He used to do all of those things, and I used to think they were cute when I was lonely and, when I wasn't familiar with how friendship worked. And once he was gone, and those things weren't happening, I started to realize a lot of them were really strange. Sort of like when the apprentice finally leaves their master and goes, he's really clingy now that I'm not around him all the time.
I said, no, I'm not. I have to tell you, I'm not clingy.
Very clingy. Cut out extremely clingy and gross.
You is clingy. I do not like it. You are the worst. Excuse me while I leave now. Goodbye.
All right.
Like how it was when we were younger, except that I'm not used to it. No,
I
actually,
was correct. It was
It
just
is.
because it was a familiar behavior. That's how he always was. He sort of, shows up as a force, and you're going, hey, more friends. And then he just starts integrating these behaviors, and you're just like, that's just always how it is. And then you don't have contrast for it because none of it's ever happened before.
Oh, God, that makes me even more uncomfortable, though. That's very
There's
sad.
so many continually. We're going, hey, let's joke. It's worse than it is. And they're like, oh, no, it's just that bad. Like, over and over the dialogue
Except for the fact that-
confirms it's that bad.
Except for the fact that also at the same time, too, they seem to kind of be saying that, no, it's fine. Rather than being like, it isn't bad, it's just sort of what it is, and that's cute, and that's what boys do. And I'm like, why would you ever want to teach a boy to do this? This is just harassment.
What I mean is, we go, oh, God, what if it were this thing? That'd be terrible. And it goes, it is that thing. That's fine.
Uh-huh, and
we
you go,
go,
it should be okay. No.
No?
Oh, my God.
No.
No. Then except that I'm not used to it anymore. Joey and I have a pretty complicated history, and it all started with Daddy and Joey's mother, who used to be lovers.
Whoa,
but things didn't work out well between them, and they parted ways.
Did they used to be lovers after your mom died?
Oh, it's a good question. Don't know.
Or they were together before your mom died, and then Joey was born with somebody else later. Is Joey your secret half-brother?
Oh, God.
And your dad's like, no, you should totally get together, because he doesn't know.
Honestly, that would be a little much for this game,
That
but
might
I
be,
think,
might be.
I don't know.
I wonder if it was after our mother died, sort of, a friend?
No, I'm just checking time. You're fine.
Oh, okay, I was like,
You're
are we-
fine.
are
Don't
we
worry.
good?
Yep, nope, we're fine.
All right, so I've got theories about this now. I'm just like, okay,
Like, oh, God.
one, if it didn't work out well between them, it doesn't sound like it was a secret at all, so I don't think it was during the time he was married to her mom.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like it would be more likely your mom died when you were young, and then he got involved with this other kid's mom, and the two of you knew each other and became friends, and then it didn't work out between your parents. And Dad's just like, I'm
We could ship
more
you
about
guys.
me than you are.
Right. Well, and again, that would make more sense of him going like, you guys are great friends, you guys should get together, because at least it reminds me, and I could have at least the mom around, maybe, but I don't know who's the clingy one in this relationship.
Or it could be more like a sense
Or were
of,
they?
just because we didn't work out doesn't mean you two can't continue to be friends and be successful.
Right.
Not even like any kind of like nostalgia.
Except
or
that then
shipping.
that's also really goddamn weird anyway, because then your parents are like, we were almost siblings, you guys should date. And you're
You know
like,
what?
that's a little strange.
If your dad and I had happened to get together, you would have been step-siblings. You know, and your dad going, oh, it's a good thing that didn't happen. Otherwise, you could never date each other legally. Ha ha ha. You. Joey's really like a brother to me. He's about that level of invasive and annoying, like some fictional brothers are, really.
Which really, honestly, doesn't make much sense to me, because I don't understand why they all have to be such freaking assholes. Maybe I'm just one of those weird kids who had 2 older brothers, and both of my brothers never really acted like that. Yes, sure, my eldest brother is a paranoid schizophrenic, and he was basically ever since I knew him, but even he didn't really act like that. He was just mostly off and being awkward kind of in his own corner and doing his own thing.
It wasn't running around harassing, the sister to get in their space.
Yeah,
Alright.
at least at the time. And they parted ways, although they remained friends. Joey and I grew up together. Yep, it was that. It was exactly what we said. Okay, so
mom died, yeah.
grew up together. He slept at our house pretty often, and I didn't see anything odd about it at the time. Why
And
would
what
that
he
be odd?
Okay.
I need to know.
Okay.
Why is that odd?
One, I didn't see anything odd about it at the time. I say, and they've obviously going to continue with something else. But my first thing here is, but clearly he was completely obsessed with you. He was always, I'm sleeping there to be near you. I'm at your house to ask you to spend the night so I can be close to you.
God.
I didn't see anything odd about it at the time, but he was clearly very, very into me that I didn't know.
Why are they leaning into the obsessive trope? Like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but, like, I'm actually now really confused between, like, all the love interests that I've ever seen from the Genius games. I'm really confused as to why this writer and this story, or just overall, like, why? Like, this level of obsessiveness?
So if you're doing that thing of here's a bunch of conventionally attractive, socially valuable men that are all going to be super jealous, possessive, and fight over me, in a way of, I'm the most desirable thing in the whole world, having one of them be completely obsessed with you, never thought about anybody else, never been with anybody else, just you, is part of that trope of men just wanting you and being wanted.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean that he is that thing. It's just that's a possible place this is leading.
No, and that's totally fine. We've obviously got to see what's going on.
Where it's leading.
But when we got a little older, I saw him in a different way, and he moved to London.
And I realized that us having slumber parties was not platonic and playful and just like kids sleeping near each other or sharing, with bedrooms nearby or whatever. And that it's actually pretty weird for a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old of opposite genders to just have slumber parties with each other.
Which is really disappointing. I actually remember, so there's one particular Tumblr post that I loved the crap out of, and unfortunately I don't have access to it anymore. I lost it when I actually reset my blog ages ago. But it was a post basically about where somebody's like, normalize having slumber parties even when you're older.
Yes.
And they had a mixed gender, basically, friend group. And
Group slumber party.
Yeah, group slumber party, and it was super cute.
There was 4 to 6 people, and they were, they
all piled in one bed, too, which was really cute.
Or piled on the floor together. They had a bunch of pictures of many different sleepovers where everybody was just friendship as go. And the thing is, that one. And in fact, I have a relative who talked about how she led teen slumber parties with their, like their non-denominational, non-Christian, their Unitarian youth group.
Right.
And you would have, and it wasn't like a lock-in, don't sleep, stay up all night. It was really just a slumber party with 7 or 8 or 12 teenage kids of whatever, genders they were, all just sleeping on the floor in a big room together.
Right. And that's the thing that I also think is really interesting anyway, is I'm like, most kids really, like, based off of my experience, really are very capable of just sleeping near each other. It doesn't have to be big or intense at all. And I actually always laugh about it where they're like, these are guy slumber parties. We wonder what girl slumber parties are like. And it's like, you just clearly have no idea that everybody's weird and everybody does their own crap all the time. They're exactly the same.
Let's see. For me, who had girl slumber parties, a couple of times, never very often, but like, because I'm pretty antisocial, but there was a few times where it happened. And I had 3 or 4 or 5 people there, and it was usually like once every couple of years for like a special birthday party thing or whatever.
Right.
Going, this is the thing everyone's doing, so why not do it? And it would be like playing Truth or Dare with dumb stunts.
Yep,
It would be eating stupid stuff. It would be trying to watch movies you weren't supposed to. It'd be trying to, like, eavesdrop on conversations you're not supposed to be in on.
Right.
Or pretending you were asleep and then staying awake all night. I say.
Right.
And occasionally it'd be the, let's, tell them we want to sleep outside and instead we'll just go for an adventure in the night kind of thing. All of us together.
Yep.
And so you've got everyone going, we'll all sleep out of the trampoline. You make all your beds out there and you pretend to be asleep and pretend to be asleep. And then you get up and you go for a walk and feel super delinquent at 2 a.m. and nothing happens. And then you go back to bed. It's fine.
My favorite was actually like when people would wake up and they would, or people would just already everybody be awake, right? They'd never gone to sleep, and they'd be like, all right, everybody, we're going to do something. And it'd be like 1 or 2 of them had fallen asleep. Even though they were like, oh. And then you'd ask them tomorrow morning, they're like, I'm really used to going to bed really early.
You'd have a couple of friends that are going, I'm a really heavy sleeper. I was the one that if I was told it was time to go to sleep, I was gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like no one ever pranked me in my sleep or anything, but I mean, even my friend here, when, as we've been roommates and we've, occasionally, like just gone to sleep, it's been one of those things of going, how do you just freaking go to sleep? And I'm like,
you said I had to go to bed.
You said it was sleep time, so I went to sleep. And it's happened with every friend I've ever slept over at their house with or anything. They're just like, you say goodnight after we say it's sleep time, and you're gone. And I go, if you want to keep talking, I gotta stay awake.
Why didn't you just tell me why I keep talking?
And I can. And I can sleep like anywhere and almost under any conditions if I know it's time to sleep and I want to sleep. Like it doesn't matter if it's bright, it doesn't matter if there's like noise or whatever, I just good night.
Which is absolutely adorable, by the way. I mean, I might sometimes get really frustrated by it because I'm just kidding. Most of the time I'm like, nope, we're gonna go to bed. And then usually I'm sitting there then for a while and then I'm like, are you asleep? My friend did.
Completely gone. Bye.
And I'm like, no! I am alone! Alright, well then I guess maybe in the next one or not, we shall see. Eventually I imagine we will come back to this series, even if we do end up moving on to Arcade Spirits.
Yes, even if we move to something else for now, which would be Arcade Spirits in this case, I think we will just pick up the series and come back to it every now and again until we get through it.
Right.
Like, it's not like we don't want to, it's just spending a lot of time on, again, something with not a lot of substance.
Right.
And so it's more like sort of when we got sort of fed up with Yowie Beast Boys, and we just dropped it for a while and then we came back and finished it.
Right. Well, it's also the fact that we've already kind of done that. That's one of the things that I explained, I think, in the other video about this, was going like, we had already gone through My Mystic Dragons and going, we've played several by this company, and we do seem to be spending most of our time adding material to these games. Not that it's bad material, not that it's not fun material, not that we're not engaged or whatever else. It's just the fact that it gets kind of frustrating going, like, the game itself doesn't have a lot of substance. It's sort of like, I
want something to chew on more.
I'm playing a role play that I would rather just go play a role play rather than dealing with somebody else's really bad story, kind of thing.
This one is a role play with light prompts that you just continually going through.
And you keep
and then
going,
your characters just go off.
Right?
I just imagining this suddenly. You have your traditional D&D party. Instead of Burn, you've got like 5 of them all there trying to do their stuff around these limited like dialogue and prompt options.
Honestly, that would be really funny. Like, if you want to mess with people, then I suggest, like, if anybody's a DM or if they have any ideas they want to propose to their DM, get them locked basically in a magical house where stuff like this happens.
Right.
And they have to interact in each room where specific things will only happen in that room, and the specific NPCs that you run into will only do very specific things.
Right.
So you can get really stuck if you're not careful, because the thing is that your NPCs will only give you so much information because that's all they have.
Or you get this experience of
they're not characters, they're literally objects, basically. Or
you could do that one, and you could just have them all be like basically objects in a video game kind of thing.
Ooh, automatons maybe.
Automatons, something like that, clockwork, whatever you want. Or you could have it the other way where instead of that whole joking, I hit on the bad guy, everybody you meet is a dateable option, and they're all trying to date you. Sort of like they all treat you like you're the female protagonist. You get a group of 5 people in the universe, they treat your group like the one female protagonist.
Hello!
And are just there and open to you and trying to be lightly possessive of you and get into your space and stuff like that.
Honestly, that would be really funny. Okay, so there's another thing that also I wanted to basically encourage people to do as we are going to be walking and signing off for now, is to actually tell us about your sleepover like parties and the times that you've ever done sleepovers with your friends, because I always think those stories are a lot of fun and sometimes cool to share.
If you have ever done it.
Yes, if you have ever done it. If you have not, I feel you. We should all have a sleepover. It'd be great.
So when we get internet and we're able to stream, we'll just stream a sleepover. It'll be awesome.
That would be so cool. Honestly, it'd be great. We'd be like, we're going to watch movies. We're going to spend time just sort of talking and discussing things and whatever else, and just sort of be chill. Because there is certainly a level of performance that we do here, but we still do definitely talk a lot, even when we're off on the side.
When we're just talking to each other, we're not that much different. That it's not as directly performative trying to include you, the viewer, but we do really get going in conversations for sure.
We do, absolutely. But again, then thank you very much, guys, then for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And please also feel free to share our videos with anybody that you think you'd like to start maybe a conversation with, or just share for fun, Yes. And then other than that, if you want to go support us more directly, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. Other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!